Hello, everybody, going live for Tuesday Talks. This time I'm going live with an amazing soul called Drashti Mehtaa Rao. And she is an incredible entrepreneur in India, helping thousands of teenagers with their career decisions and just making them decide what's best for them in their futures and follow their passions.
Problem. Okay, so I am Drashti Rao and I'm career counselor. I'm from India and I counsel students. I get them career oriented. I help them in their future goals, selecting their courses, and of course, making their pathways. University admissions, help them into some entrance exams, scholarships, and this is what I do.
That's an amazing journey, and obviously we've restarted this a little bit, so we've spoken about it already. We're not
Yes,
just
of
doing it
course.
because we've lost that episode already. It didn't get saved, so for the reasons of this being saved, we're just gonna have that conversation a little bit again. So I mean, when you've been on this journey to help all these teenagers, make decisions of their future careers and help them decide. What made you choose that path to help them?
Okay. Basically, when I was in my childhood, I was literally confused what I want to do. So, till my, early 30s, I was always confused. I did my science and then I did my commerce and then I was a management student and then I did different certified courses and I did different businesses. Then so this was my journey. So this made me click that when you are in your teens and you cannot select and you are really confused, that makes your whole life running after your career and you are still not satisfied. So this is why my journey started and I selected this to give a guidance to students that right time right selection, looking to the future, also future aspects. I do this work.
That's amazing. I mean, it's more, it's another something similar to what I am doing as well, in terms of I'm helping, um, including teenagers. I'm helping kids from the age of 11 onwards, all the way to teens and forth. You know, become the boss of themselves, create the future lifestyle. Everybody talks about this freedom lifestyle and all that stuff. The freedom comes from when you know what you want to do and everything, and that's where you get that freedom. So the ones I work with are the ones who actually want to create a future for themselves, in terms of they know what they want in the future. They don't want to work for anybody. They want to create something themselves, because if it's not available out there, you have to create it. If you keep looking and looking and looking and you can't find it, what are you going to do then, right? Because you spend all these years in the universities and colleges and everything, and then you come out with a degree, and then you still have to work hard to look for that job that you just studied all those years for, right? It's not even given to you now. You still have to go out there and look for it and work hard and then impress again, right? So why not use that time as well to actually learn, to spot opportunities, to create business, to create something that you want to create. Like one of my, well, two of my favorite people that I love in this world are Richard Branson and Elon Musk. They are regular people like you and I, but why do you think they are where they are? Because they know and they learn to see the opportunities. When they create something, they move on to the next opportunity after that first opportunity has been a success. He created Tesla. Well, he created PayPal first, Elon Musk. PayPal is a success. He then moved on to Tesla. Tesla is a success. Now he's creating rockets to go to the Mars. Now he's working on that project, right? Same what Richard Branson did, right? Richard Branson created Virgin Music, and then from music he created what did he create? Then he created, moved on to trains. Now he's working on cruises, and all of these successes. Now he's working on creating rocket as well, so where he can take you to the moon and back. So all these things are there, but how that comes to you is because you need to realize and recognize the opportunities, right? And the only way you can see and recognize that is if you've been shown how to recognize this, if you've been told how to do it, not everybody is able to do that unless you have that drive from a very young age that all you do is you just go and do it, right? And that's what it is. And but the bottom line is, are you an entrepreneur or are you just a follower? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a follower. That's an easy life, a very fantastic life, you know. But anybody can do it. A lot of people, as you are helping them as well in terms of deciding the right thing for themselves, right? Because you don't want to just keep going and going and going, and then you still don't know what you want to do because you've got a degree in something, but then the job is to do with something else, right? You've spent all that money, all those years, and then after that degrees, you have nothing.
Correct, Zishan. So here, what I think is, like, you know, there should be balanced, you know, scenario of the next generation. Like there should be skilled persons also, those who are looking for, you know, the perfect jobs and all, and there should be the business people also. But the entrepreneurship, the learning of the management skills to learn about something where they want to start, that should be in everyone. Each and every child should learn that. Why? Because if you are a skilled person, if you are a doctor, or if you are you know, engineer, or if you are anything and you want to start your own company, if you are a CA, if you are accountant, and then you don't know how to run your business, and that is what happening everywhere. You know, people are skilled, they know their skills, they are very good in their skills, but their businesses are not working due to, you know, they don't know how to run the business. So that is where I think you come in the picture, and you show, you know, the guidance to the entrepreneurs, right?
No, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so I'm able to guide them at a very early age to become an entrepreneur and, you know, use the skills they have already. So if they are learning to become a doctor or a surgeon or whatever, right, they can open their own surgery at the end of, you know, whenever they feel like it. Obviously, yeah, you have to go through certain things that you need to do. But if you now think of something that, okay, I want to open my own hospital, maybe they want to open their own hospital, who knows, right? But what do you need to do that, right? It's not that easy. You have to create a whole system that the hospital runs on, right? So that's all those mechanics in the background that work, right? So there is never, with myself, there's never one, let's say, one glove that fits everybody. Everybody has different sides of hand, so the glove will be, you know, especially designed for that person to fit them because of their needs and their future. So the kids that I'm working with, the young entrepreneurs that I'm working with, we don't even call them kids anymore because they're not kids, right? So they're young entrepreneurs. So the ones I work with, they're creating their lifestyle now. So they are future lifestyle creators. And by the time they are 30, they will be retired already. What that means is they have created enough wealth that they don't need to actually look for work. And if they wish not to do anything, they can still go around and travel the world by that time. Because a lot of people, they start getting busier by 20, 25, 30. That's when they start making those things, right? And it's too late by now. You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing that by that time. But if you're getting an opportunity to start early, you should take it, because you have a lot of time. That's something I would give anything to go back and become, you know, a 20-year-old person again, because I will make all the decisions I need to make much better. I've already, you know, I know now how the path is. So if somebody can show you what the path is, decisions are still yours, but the guidance is there to decide what you need to do. Opportunities are there in front of you to do so many things. You know, people want to learn from YouTube. Nothing wrong with learning from YouTube. But how many people have actually you seen who are successful from public school? Very few, right? Especially in India, I don't know how the public schools are. So in UK, the public schools are there, but then you have private schools. But a lot of people go to public school in UK because the education is free to a certain age, right? But after that, you have to pay for your universities and so until college, education is free for everybody in the UK. But because of that, nobody actually, you know, pays attention to that studies a lot, because you have to pay for uni and all that stuff. But by that time, a lot of children have become entrepreneurs because they are doing other things, because education is already given to them, right? So you know how to read, you know how to write, you know how to see things that which are out there, you know how to calculate. But everything that you learn, you never actually use in your daily life, right? You never learn how, you know, you learn algebra, you never use algebra once you're out there to pay your bills, right? You never use algebra out there, you know, to do anything. You learn, I don't know, how the vaporization works. Yeah, it's good to know, but you never use it after, you know, all these chemistry experiments you do. It's good to know, but you never actually use it afterwards, right? So this is where I come in. I say, yeah, do all those things. That's good to know how the world works, but you need to also know how the real world works when you are 18 and your parents are like saying, go get a job and bring in some money now because we need to pay bills. And you're like, what's this, right? You know, we expect them to do something. Suddenly we expect them to do this and manage their money and all that stuff. And they're like, I've not been taught this. I've only been taught how to count the money. So they're able to count the money, but they don't know what to do with that money.
I I can feel this, because this happens with actually everyone, you know. And when the journey starts after your education journey starts, when you start, you know, earning, and when you realize that the time has gone, at that time you are in your 30s and you're in your 40s. So that's how it works. So I think the entrepreneurship should be you know, taught into the schools, where a child get all exposure about how to manage money, how to manage finance, how to, you know, invest your money the right time. This should be, you know, taught in the schools.
Exactly. I mean, I'm on a mission to do that in UK. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it. I'm already speaking to a few people, so that it becomes part of an extra activity, a curriculum after school or before school activity. So it's part of the school activity. It becomes that, you know, those subjects that kids or teenagers take and they sign up to. And it's something I would love to bring to India as well myself. You know, like bring it there and introduce it as an institute that you know you can enroll your children and they learn this. They come out with abundance of knowledge that they are able to manifest and bring, right? Because everything starts with a thought, and when they are young, their imagination is amazing. That time they are able to imagine everything and anything in that time, and if you allow it to manifest, it comes out, right? So this chair that I'm sitting on now was someone's imagination at one time, that, oh yeah, I'm tired of sitting on the floor, right? I want something better to sit on, so I'm a little bit high up. I don't want to sit on the rock because it's uncomfortable. So somebody thought came, right? And then they designed it, they brought it back to life, and we are now taking for granted and we use it, right? Cars, for example, all these things were somebody's thought, right? Electricity, lights, and all that stuff, it was somebody's thought, right? And then experiments happened and then came up. And this is what I help the young entrepreneurs realize. If you can think it, you can bring it to life. How you bring it to life, that's the journey I help you with.
That's really amazing, Zishan. And I also want to know, what is this future, your brand of, what is that? Sorry, I didn't get that.
So
future entrepreneurs. Sorry.
So the young entrepreneurs were future lifestyle creators.
Future lifestyle, yeah.
Yeah. So they are the one, and I can guarantee if they start at the right age with me, by the time they are 30, they're not going to be working. They're retired by that time. Well, they can choose to work with me for 1 year or 2 years, but after when they leave, I can guarantee that person, if you follow them, that person would not work a single day by the time they reach 30. After that, they're going to be just traveling the world.
Wow. This is really amazing. I mean, I would definitely, if I would be in my school days, I would have definitely joined you. So this is how it is. So my work is also something like related to that only, Zishan, and I also make a spark in the child's mind. When I counsel, I counsel holistically, looking to all the aspect of a child. I don't only give them the suggestions of, selecting certain courses, that you just go and select these courses, or this is the pathway, or this is the way you should go to the certain universities. I counsel in very deep, I work with their mind also, because I believe is like, giving them some goal is always important with their present scenario, working on present scenario. If you are not working on present scenario and you are just having that goal and you don't know how to achieve that, there is no point. So where you work as an coaching them as an making them learn about the entrepreneurship and making them the thoughtful process in their mind, the same way I also work with their careers in the same process.
That's what I love what you do as well, because it's something which is needed in a lot of places, especially in UK as well. In a lot of places, you do need that. As I said, in UK the education is free, which also makes a lot of students disoriented in terms of what should I do, what shouldn't do, because the options are there. So with what you've been doing with the teenagers that you've been working since last year, and you've already been in the education sector for a long time, yes, what is something that you are able to share with us that you came across and you were like, wow, this is amazing, and then this is worth what I do,
So what I felt is the best thing I work in the teenagers, where they have a super duper idea, super duper mind. They are so focused. They know what they're doing. I think they have, all the exposure nowadays. And that is what I love my whole work here. I came across many students also, Zishan, nowadays, where they are literally confused what to do with their, which course they should select or how they should go further and something like that. But still, what I have marked till now is that they are so much focused and they know what they want to do. They always have one goal, that I want to make my journey or make my career more of, I think they are more of money oriented nowadays, and they're not like our generation, I would say.
Okay. That's quite interesting to know that. Okay, obviously they're focused on to looking, creating that money, So when people say, when I work with people, when money, for me, money is a byproduct of anything that you do. So if you're doing anything which is creating positivity in the world, you will be rewarded for it, right? You will be rewarded for that positivity in the world. So whether that is money, whether that is time, whether that is something, it will be given to you. And that's why I always say anything you are doing, money is the byproduct of whatever you want to do. But if you're, now this is my opinion anyway, you can share yours as well. So my opinion on money always is, if you're chasing money, money never comes to you, because money is like a cat or a chicken that you have, right? So if you're trying to catch it, every time if you run after it, it never comes to you, it runs away from you. You leave it be, right? And you just have a little bit of some sweets of food for the chicken or a cat in your hand. It will come to you slowly, it will come to you, and then it's your friend, right? And that's how I personally treat money. And because if I've never chased money in my whole life, it just comes, because I am not worried about it. It comes and goes with me, right? And if you treat it that way, I can guarantee you that you will never worry about money. The only reason we worry about money is because you are already worried about who you need to give that money. If you're not worried about who you're going to give that money, because you don't have any, right? So there'll be nothing to worry about, right? Because whoever you need to give that money to is not going to take anything from you, because you don't have it, right? Once you have it, you will give it. And that's how I say, if I have money, I will give you. If I have a bill to pay, right? Well, bill will only come if I have the money. The only thing I would get is because I have the money, right? If I didn't have the money, I won't get that thing to pay that bill, right? And that's how it is. So once you start getting the money, you also, that's where the money management side of things comes in, which I also teach these young entrepreneurs, is to work with the management of what you have now. But you need to work that you are able to, if you are not able to do anything for 1 year, you are able to survive with no money for 1 year. How are you going to do that? That is all gets taught onto that money management side of things, because you're going to build that 1 year's worth of money first anyway, so that once you are now doing something else of your passion, because everybody has a passion that you want to do. So once you want to do that passion project of yours, and you are not able to generate any money out of that passion project, you are able to still survive because we've created that wealth for you. And a lot of people get confused with money and wealth, two different things. They are two different things. Yeah. So I mean, that's just my take on money, and it works for me for a long time, because I learned that very young age. Because if you're chasing money, it
Doesn't
runs away
work.
from it.
Doesn't work. I do agree here that chasing money doesn't work, but then it is all about how you create the positivity with your work and manifest. I think that works a lot when you really think about positive thoughts in your business or in your work or whatever you're doing. I mean, if you're cooking also, the positive thoughts make the the end product beautiful and perfect. That's what I think. So money is also an end product, and I think whatever we do, we just work and concentrate on and focus on our work, then of course I think you are right in that case, money will come in that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I also help these entrepreneurs on their journey of changing their mindsets, right? So because they already had a job for so long that they have an employee mindset, and when they start their companies or become their bosses, they find it difficult, because now you have to make so many decisions. Before, you weren't making that many decisions, right? Because you were just coming to work, doing your thing, and then going home, waiting for the paycheck, right? Now you're not waiting for the paycheck, because if you don't create that paycheck, it's not coming to you. And it's a case of creating that paycheck, not the money that you want, not that. It's creating that service that you're gonna provide, and creating that help that you're going to help. Your company that you're working for is helping someone do something, whatever company that is, right? Is created a service that is helping someone, and because of that service, in return, they're getting that money. And because then that company has created a system, you are part of that system, and then they're giving you money for that, being part of that system. So we can create that system and look for the people who want to become part of our system and create that system, and then give and reward that person for their time, and you get rewarded for creating that thing that you wanted to help with. You always get, as a byproduct, money being the byproduct of whatever you create and you put it out there, there's always somebody who will pay you for it.
Correct. I think, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that entrepreneurial journey, or your own journey? For example, I know you said, so when did you start all this, becoming an entrepreneur yourself?
I started very early, Zishan. I started my journey, I can say, from my school days. I always thought of being a businesswoman. Those days were like in my school time. I have never thought of being any skilled person or not into any profession, but my mind was always behind how to manage a business, how to make it from the scratch to the top. So this is what I have always my mind only goes in that way. So that is my journey. That's where it started, from my school days, early teens, in my 11th 12th, you can say, like I started with doing some small stalls and exhibitions, and this is how whole my life I have done a lot of businesses. I started my business, then it dropped somewhere, then I stop, and then I again start something else, and this is how my whole journey has been till now.
So from that journey, and I love that journey that you've just mentioned, you face stops, it doesn't matter, you've started and something else again, you've carried on going. So what was the lesson that you've learned so far from all this journey that you had?
So this is the lesson I learned, is never give up and stop. Wherever you think to give up something, stop for some time and then start again. So things will definitely work if you put your all efforts. But maybe the plan A is not working, you should think about plan B. If plan B is not working, then you should think about plan C. Something will definitely work with your business, but you should not give up. If you have an idea, if you have a vision, if you are working, if you know how to grow, you should keep on going every day, every single day. Some days will be not good, definitely. Some days will be like, you will feel like, you are drained out, you are stressed, you cannot give something to your whatever your work, your business. But then I think the next day is, you will just move on. This
That's
is what,
amazing.
yeah, this is what I have learned this till now, is never give up.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I love that share of yours, that to never give up. It's something, we have been doing this since we've been kids anyway. We don't give up when we are learning new things, right? We didn't know how to walk, we didn't give up because we fell, right? We didn't know how to ride a bicycle, we never gave up because we wanted to ride it, right? So we do a lot of these things, right? My hand movement now is doing this, is something I've taught myself and I've learned, and people help. But when we become a little bit older, in our adulthood, we stop doing those things. We become more conscious of, oh, what's this, what's that, it's not working out. And this is where, responsibilities come in, and you're like, oh, I can't afford to lose this, I can't do that. And then you are stopping yourself. We are our own biggest blocker. I always say that. And this is why we do it. It's our own thoughts which are stopping us to do some things, right? To move forward. I love the way you just said, so continue going, and always have a solution. So be a solution focused. If this is not working, try the other thing. If that's not working, what's next, right? Keep doing it. Whatever's going, something's gonna work, right?
Something's gonna definitely work, of course. Yeah, I have tried many things in my businesses. I have tried a lot of things. I have closed down few of my businesses. Then I restarted also. But then what I get it from my business is never give up. And when I have that attitude in myself to never give up, next day, you won't believe, Zishan, next day I'll get more ideas and things fall in place and things will roll on very nicely. So that is always I have learned. And I have actually I have seen a lot of people also who have achieved a lot of things in their life. They also never give up, and that is how it works. Only very few percent, you must be knowing, in the same industry, very few percent of people are successful, and maximum, like, I think it's a 1 or 2% ratio is there, are successful, and then 98-97% are not successful. That's what the ratio is, right? But why these people are successful? It's just they don't give up. They just restart, relearn certain things, rediscover in the same business, but they just move on.
Yeah, no, I like that as well, because it's correct. Yeah, the ratio there, and the statistics I also read a few years back was, everybody who becomes an entrepreneur and starts a business, right? In the first year, let's say if there were 10 people who started it in the first year, about 5 or 6 of them will stop. They won't exist anymore. And the second year, 3 or 4 more of them, about 3 of them will go away again. And the 2 which are left are the ones who will continue going. It's just because they are the one who are continuing going, and they're not stopped yet, right? And it's just quite a high number as well, to see that from 10, only 2 people are successful, and only because they have the motivation to carry on doing it. And what I always say is the discipline. I always say is, at the end, it's the discipline of how much you really want it. And if you are looking for motivation to do something, then don't do it. You know why? Because then you don't have the discipline to continue, and you do not actually have the drive. It's not your passion. If you are passionate about something, you do not look for motivation to drive you for that thing, right? If I love walking, I do not look for motivation to tell me I need to start walking. I will just walk, right? I love driving. I have a passion for driving. I don't look for motivation for driving. I actually look for excuses to go out and drive, right? I'm like, anybody wants to go somewhere? I'm like, yeah, I'll drive you. You see, I'm looking for those excuses. So I'm creating those opportunities for myself to do that, right? So this is where I say, if you're looking for motivation to do something, that definitely is not for you to do, right? To look for something which you are passionate about, where you can wake up in the morning without thinking, oh, what a rubbish day it is outside. If it's raining outside, doesn't really matter, because you're gonna be doing something you love, right? And that's where the discipline comes in. And then you always get those low days. Everybody gets that. You're not feeling well. You're feeling down. Something is not going the right way, and this is where the discipline comes in. And you're like, okay, where I was yesterday, I'm already a day ahead of where I was yesterday. So you're already a day ahead. So if you think of it, I'm already a day ahead from where I was yesterday, or 1 week ahead from where I was 1 week ago, you're already successful, right? You are not far away. You are maybe 2 days away from where you were, from that success waiting to happen. A lot of people talk about overnight success, but they don't tend to talk about all those 100 nights before that one overnight success that everybody talks about, right? Richard Branson, Elon Musk, everybody thinks they are overnight successes, but they're not. They created themselves to all these things they are doing now. Tesla, and his Project X, and all those things. They've created all that stuff, and they've been very successful. Yeah, the company goes up and down, shares goes up and down, but that's part of the journey. That's all it is.
That's a part of the journey. Yeah.
They've created it, and now it's out there for people to do things with, right? And that's what it is. We need to create that.
Yes, and do you also realize that they don't stop? They don't stop after having, it would be a dream of everyone to be somewhere, like where the Elon Musk or anyone, right? But then they still don't stop. They just work and work and work. So that is what a self motivation is, and that is where they want to be something. So it has to be inside you. To start something, to run something, and to achieve something should be inside.
No, 100% I agree. Because all these successful entrepreneurs, all these successful companies as well, if the companies they are working for example, Amazon and all that stuff, Amazon, people talk about Amazon. If they look into history, Amazon was a book seller. They sold books online. That's how they started their business.
I know his journey.
Right? So that's how they started their journey, was selling books online. And everybody told them, right, you're crazy. Why would people want to buy books online when we could go to the bookshop, right? Why do we want to? They started it. They still carry on doing it. But then what happened? They expanded from there, because now everybody knows that they sell books anyway. So they're doing well with the books. What else can I do? So it's the case of, okay, once you become successful at one thing, you need to look at, okay, what else I can do? What else? And then you are looking at, how can I become better than what I did now? So what's the next better thing that I can create, right? And that's what Richard Branson did. That's what Elon Musk and all the other, Bezos for Amazon, all these people did. Now Amazon pretty much caters for everything. You don't really need to go to the shop because Amazon has it, and that's what Google did. There were so many search engines out there, but what Google decided to do was something different. And it was a case of, right, what can we do that can be the best thing, and then people want it. And that's how it is. So if you go in with that mind, you go for it.
Yeah. Here, what they did, what I have in my mind, like, when you want to do something, it's also, you need to see the future aspects of what is, need of the people. That what they also think about that, and that's how the idea is running. So
exactly. Yeah. So you always need to look at, so I always say, always look at how can you serve the people, how can you serve the world, how can you give back to your community that you are in, right? If you're looking to do that, you will definitely find lots of opportunities to help. Once you are helping and you are creating that opportunity, the byproduct, which is being money that everybody's after, will just come to you, right? It's an exchange of energy. Anything you do is exchange of energy. You decide that you want to have breakfast. What happens? you go to the kitchen and make yourself a breakfast, right? Or you ask someone to make you a breakfast, right? It doesn't just suddenly appear. So that's an exchange of energy that from your thought, then action happens. You have to take that action, but the action has to be in a positive direction, that the energies are coming back to you the same way. Because a lot of people, they exhaust themselves by just chasing money, and the money would never come to you. As I mentioned, you're just chasing a chicken, and what does the chicken do? It just runs away from you every time you're trying to catch it. You can't catch it. But then if you just sit down in the corner somewhere, it comes back to you and even runs around near you, right? Because it knows now you don't want it. Now it will come to you, and that's what it is. Also, I always say, don't be afraid to invest into things, because money is a social character. It goes out and it brings friends with you, right? It goes out and it brings friends with it, right? So money is used to do anything in the world now, right? You want to go out, you have to spend money. You need to drive a car, you need to spend money to put fuel in. You want to do anything, money goes out, right? So money is always going out from you, right? And you're like, what can I do to bring it back, right? So people are not looking for opportunities to create opportunity to bring it back, because the only way everybody is taught is to go and work and give your time away to create that money. And then you give more time away, which you don't even have to do that, and that which affects your family, which affects your house and everything, right? So why not create the opportunity? You might have to give that money again to bring some more money, right? And I also teach them to understand what that money means when you are giving that money away, for that money to come back to you tenfold after.
That's amazing, Zishan. I think it works. It works, and I will definitely going to use this your strategy now.
No, you're welcome to use it. I mean, it's it's out there. It's a case of I always say, it's a case of helping people understand, because you can chase things in a matter of, right, okay, this is what I want, but what are you willing to give away to get that, right? You are now giving away. People who are, let's say, your students who are learning from you to make those decisions for their career and everything, they've spent all their life in school and the education system. I got nothing against the education system, but there are certain things they do it wrong, right? And that is, they don't give you lessons that you actually need to use when you are actually out in the world, making decisions and to do things, right? Yeah, they create a person who is able to follow orders and do job and things, and that's what the system was created for. But the system has not evolved with the time it is now. You don't really need to create all these workers anymore. That in the amount of numbers we need now, it was needed at the time of when the industries were being made. Now you need bosses, entrepreneurs, job creators. You want to be the one who creates jobs for people. There will be less poverty already if you were creating jobs, right? And if you're thinking that way, you will create it. And that can only happen if you're thinking of how I can do this. So you've invested all this time in, and I know in India, the education is private, it's not free. So you paid for all this education system all the way to how many years that you want to be in the school. At the end, to just get a paper, and then also work hard, twice as hard, to look for that job that you studied all that life, right? All that life could be used to do that. I'm not stopping you for anybody to do that, but also learn how to create an opportunity. I always say, if there is no road that to the place that is going to where I want to go, I will create the road for me to go where I want to go. And how I need to create that, this is what I'm going to work on to create it. How do you think those cities are built? Because somebody wants to live somewhere, right?
Correct.
How do you think a house is made? Because somebody wants to live in that house. So they build a house for you. It just doesn't come out of nowhere for no one, right? It's someone's creativity that just brings it out. And we all have that creativity, but it just gets stopped by people not looking at the things the correct way. And then, creating, they'll create opportunities which are not needed in terms of, oh, I need money. What do you need money for? Because my first question is always to anybody, And when they say, I want to earn this much money, I want to earn this much money. Okay, what do you want to earn this much money for? Why? Right? And that I try to go very deep, holistically, to find out what that why is. Are you why? What you going to do with that money? And that's it. Let's find out what's driving you. Because if you're just driving you that you want to catch that chicken to eat, right? You will never eat that chicken. You'll be hungry because you're trying to catch it and it's never going to come to you. You might get little bits here, you might get its eggs that it might be laying around when it's running around, but you're never getting the chicken at the end because it's running from you, right? And you are like, I'm hungry, I want to eat. But if you say, okay, I'm hungry, I want to eat, what can I do for that chicken to come to me, right? Oh yeah, let me make a trap, and then chicken will go in there and I will catch it, right? And that's what people don't do. They are chasing it, but not making it come to yourself. And that's where I come in and help and create what you want to create. And with this technology nowadays, the world being smaller than it was before, is unlimited. Is unlimited resources available for anybody from the age of 11 all the way to 19. Unlimited things there that people are able to do different things. But in your journey, what was the two things that you are able to share? Let's say, that you've learned and you're like, okay, this is something that I've come across with my students that you've worked with in your industry so far. The two things you've learned that you would love to share with people and say, okay, these things are ideal for success.
Okay. And I think that is where the strategy building, I learned that that if you want to do something, you need to build a strategy out of that from the scratch, and you should start working on a daily basis. This is what I have learned, and I would like to tell everyone that make a strategy, make a plan, and think upon all the balls of where you are. Like, if you are in the middle of somewhere, hold on with all the balls at the same time. That is what I have learned with this thing.
Okay, so it's good. So you have a strategy plan, right?
Yeah, of course. So anything, if you are a student, if you want to plan your career, if you are an entrepreneur, if you want to plan your business, if you are a housewife, if you want to plan your house, the management of a house, everything start with a strategy. Everything start with the planning. Everything, all the growth, any growth will start with small steps, and that is called strategy of working on that. So that is what my success story is, and I would like to share with everyone that this is how it should go.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So somebody who is connected with you, how would their journey begin in terms of, let's say, a student who is looking for options for their career? What that journey looks like?
Okay, you mean to say how I work with my student?
Yeah. I mean, a typical journey. How does it start?
So when a student join with me for a first counseling, I talk with them, in a depth about their mind, about their likings, I take aptitude test as well. I talk with them. I counsel about their concerns. How if they have any concerns at the present moment, and that's how I start counseling. And once I show them, certain courses or certain fields where they should go further, that is where I make the pathways. And I only don't make the pathways, I make them, dedicated to reach their goal. I be with them in the whole journey, and I make them understand that if, this is the situation of your life right now, this can be changed on a daily basis, but your goal should be very much fixed. So I make them goal oriented.
That's exciting. So it's a bit more focus onto their goal rather than, okay, yeah, I think I want to do this, I want to do that, and you end up doing nothing, right? So that's quite good as well. So having a goal is actually, I 100% agree. Having a goal is needed, and then being determined to achieve and succeed in that goal have to be there to drive you and move forward. And all these successful entrepreneurs and businessmen and doctors and all that, you see them there because they had that as their goal, and then they were determined to achieve it and hit it, right?
I think without goal, there is no purpose of doing something, anything. I think, Zishan, if I want to travel from India to UK, and if I know where I have to go, then my goal is fixed. Then I know how should I travel. Maybe it would be like in the plane, or maybe roadways, or anything I can select. But my goal are clear that I want to go to UK. But if my goal is not clear, I just want to go somewhere, then I will be always confused where to go. And then I'll go and okay, that journey is also very good, where you get, exposure to many things, but then you don't know what you're doing. And maybe at the end, you are always confused, and maybe you don't know what you're doing. So that the goal should be there, I think, for everyone.
No, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. So if you, I mean, and I love the example you shared as well. Is amazing, in terms of, if you don't have a goal, you might know where you want to go, but if you don't have a goal in terms of why you want to go there, then is nobody, if you want to go UK, yes, amazing. How are you going to get there and everything? You can draw all that, but the goal is, yes, I want to go to UK. What you want to do there has to then add it on to it. Okay, where I will land, how I'm going to go there, if I take a taxi. A lot of these things come in the strategy plan, as you were suggesting earlier, right? So I love that. So one last thing that you would love to share with everybody who is listening to us now, something to inspire or motivate as we wrap up this call of ours. What would you love that you've gained from your journey, and is something you are able to share?
Okay, here I would like to tell everyone and to motivate is like, self-motivation is the best thing. You will get a lot of days very down, very depressing. Maybe we can feel this in this COVID situation also. But the main thing, we should go ahead, that is self-motivation. Motivate yourself, give time to yourself, listen to your inner world, talk to your own self. That is the main thing I think everyone should do. Situation outside our outside our world, or maybe outside us, is very different, what we cannot deal maybe on a daily basis. But inside ourselves, we can definitely deal with our own self, and that is where we should talk with our own self.
I love it. I love this. It's amazing, to self-motivate and be disciplined in that as well, right? It's great because you do come across a lot of days where, especially if you are on this journey and you're the one who has to do these things, there'll be a lot of times when things don't go your way, right? And a lot of times where you have to make that decision and you don't feel like making that decision. And this is, you maybe don't feel like, you wake up this morning and you're like, okay, I don't feel like doing any of these things. Those are the days you need to motivate yourself and do it. Who are you doing it for? You are doing it for yourself. So it's the reason to drive yourself and drive yourself forward, right? And I love that what you shared. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Zishan.
So I would close this call with now saying thank you very much for your time, Dee, as well. And thank you for hopping on and sharing these wonderful, amazing golden nuggets with everybody here. So everybody who's been watching us since the beginning, I will recommend you to share this episode with people if you found this valuable. There's lots of valuable content in there. Because you don't know who woke up this morning thinking that they would love to have something different or create something new. They might find this episode very interesting and might give you thanks, right? Give you blessings for showing them to watch this episode. You don't even know who that person is. So I recommend to share it with your friends and family. Put it on your story if you can, whoever's watching this and listening to this on replay. And thank you very much, Dee, for your time. And we will, and audience, thank you very much. We will see everybody on next Tuesday. And thank you very much, Dee.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Zishan. Have a nice day. I have